Michael and Emma had always been the perfect couple in everyone's eyes. He was a successful entrepreneur, charismatic, kind-hearted, and deeply in love with her. She was beautiful, charming, and seemed to adore him just as much. Their love story was one that many envied, filled with romantic getaways, sweet moments, and promises of forever. When Michael proposed, Emma said yes without hesitation, and their wedding day was set to be a grand celebration of love. Friends and family gathered in an elegant ballroom, raising their glasses in honor of the couple. The bride was stunning in her white gown, and the groom stood tall beside her, a proud smile on his face. Everything seemed perfect. But beneath the surface, Michael knew a truth that Emma had kept hidden. And tonight, on what was supposed to be the happiest day of their lives, he had prepared a special gift, one that she would never forget. Michael and Emma had always been the perfect couple in everyone's eyes. He was a successful entrepreneur, charismatic, kind-hearted, and deeply in love with her. She was beautiful, charming, and seemed to adore him just as much. Their love story was the kind that people dreamed of, filled with romantic getaways, sweet moments, and heartfelt promises of forever. When Michael proposed, Emma said yes without hesitation. Their wedding day was set to be an unforgettable event, a grand celebration of love, held in a luxurious ballroom adorned with chandeliers and white roses. Friends and family gathered, raising their glasses in honor of the happy couple. Emma stood at the center of it all, a vision in white. Her gown sparkled under the warm glow of the lights, and her radiant smile only added to her beauty. Michael stood beside her, his expression calm, composed. But beneath that exterior, he carried a secret, a truth that Emma had thought she had hidden well. Michael had never been the suspicious type. He loved Emma wholeheartedly and trusted her with every fiber of his being. But a few months before the wedding, something changed. She started acting differently, more distant, more secretive. At first, he brushed it off as stress from planning the wedding. But then came the whispers, the glances, the late nights she couldn't explain. It wasn't until a close friend pulled him aside one evening that the puzzle pieces started to fall into place. "Mike," his friend had said hesitantly, "I don't know how to tell you this, but Emma isn't being faithful to you." Michael's heart had stopped. He had wanted to deny it, to believe that his friend was mistaken. But then came the evidence, pictures, messages, videos, proof that the woman he had planned to spend the rest of his life with had been in the arms of another man. For days, he didn't know what to do. Should he confront her? Should he cancel the wedding? But then, a thought struck him. Why let her walk away so easily? Why not let her see, in front of everyone she loved, the consequences of her betrayal? And so Michael made a plan. The ceremony had gone perfectly. Emma had walked down the aisle, her eyes shining with excitement. She had said her vows with confidence, looking into Michael's eyes as if she truly meant every word. And Michael had played along, masking his pain behind a practiced smile. Now, at the reception, it was time for the grand reveal. Michael stood up, tapping his glass with a fork, signaling for attention. The room quieted, and all eyes turned to him. He smiled, glancing briefly at Emma, whose eyes sparkled with curiosity. "Before we continue celebrating," Michael said, his voice smooth and steady, "I have a very special gift for my beautiful bride, something that will make this night unforgettable." Emma's eyes widened in surprise, a delighted smile spreading across her face. The guests clapped, eager to see what the groom had prepared. The lights dimmed, a large screen descended from the ceiling, and a video began to play. At first, it was a montage of sweet moments. Michael and Emma laughing together, stolen kisses, vacations by the beach. The guests awed at the romantic display. Emma's smile grew as she turned to Michael, silently mouthing, "This is amazing." But then the footage changed. Instead of their happy memories, a grainy video filled the screen. The setting was different, dim lighting, a hotel room, and there, clear as day, was Emma, in the arms of another man. Gasps echoed through the hall. A murmur of shock rippled through the guests as they watched Emma embrace the man. Their laughter, their whispered words, words that cut through Michael like a knife. Michael? He's sweet, but honestly, he's so boring. He'll never find out. Emma's face drained of color. Her hands trembled as she stared at the screen, unable to believe what she was seeing. Michael turned to her, his expression unreadable. But there was something in his eyes, something cold. Emma's lips parted, but no words came out. The room was silent, all eyes fixed on the bride, waiting for her reaction. Michael exhaled, setting down his champagne glass. Then, in the same calm voice, he said, "I was going to give you my whole life, Emma, but I suppose this is a more fitting wedding gift." With that, he turned, walking away from the stunned crowd. And the celebration that had started with love ended in betrayal. The silence that followed Michael's departure was suffocating. Emma stood frozen in place, her body trembling. She could feel the weight of 100 eyes on her, some filled with shock, others with judgment, and a few with thinly veiled amusement. The fairy tale wedding she had dreamed of had just turned into a public humiliation of epic proportions. The video had stopped playing, but its echoes still rang in her ears. Her own voice, laughing, dismissing Michael as boring. Those words now felt like daggers piercing her chest. A murmur spread across the room, guests whispering to one another. Some turned to leave, clearly uncomfortable with the unfolding drama. Others lingered, eager to see what would happen next. Emma's father was the first to react. He pushed back his chair with such force that it scraped against the marble floor. His face, once filled with pride, was now red with anger and disappointment. "Emma," he hissed, his voice low but sharp, "tell me this isn't true." Emma opened her mouth, but no words came out. What could she say? That it was a misunderstanding? That the video was fake? No one would believe her, not after what they had just seen. Michael's best man, Jason, let out a low whistle and shook his head. "Damn," he muttered under his breath. "Never thought I'd see something like this in real life." Emma's bridesmaids shifted uncomfortably. One of them, Jessica, avoided eye contact, already inching toward the exit as if she didn't want to be associated with this disaster. The man from the video, the one Emma had betrayed Michael with, was somewhere in the crowd. She frantically searched for him, but he had conveniently disappeared. Of course, he had. Panic surged through Emma's body. She couldn't just stand there. She had to fix this. Gathering the folds of her wedding dress, she ran. Out of the ballroom, down the long, elegant hallway, through the massive double doors leading to the hotel courtyard. The crisp night air hit her like a slap, but she barely felt it. Her eyes darted around, searching, and then she saw him. Michael stood by the hotel fountain, his back to her, his hands in his pockets. The soft glow of the streetlights cast a shadow over his tall, broad figure. For a moment, Emma hesitated. She had never seen him like this before. So still, so unreadable. But she had to try. "Michael!" she called out, her voice desperate. She lifted her dress and ran to him, her heels clicking against the pavement. "Please wait." He didn't turn immediately. When he finally did, his face was calm. Too calm. And that scared her more than if he had been angry. "You lied to me," Michael said, his voice quiet but heavy with emotion. "You looked me in the eyes and told me you loved me, all while sneaking around behind my back." Emma's heart pounded. Michael, you made me believe I was your forever, he continued, stepping closer. And I was ready to give you everything. My time, my love, my trust. He exhaled sharply. But I guess none of that mattered to you. Tears welled up in Emma's eyes. It wasn't like that, she whispered. It was a mistake. I got caught up in something stupid. But I love you, Michael. I swear I do. Michael let out a hollow laugh. Love? He echoed. Is that what you call this? He gestured toward the hotel, where the echoes of their ruined wedding still lingered. Because I don't think you understand what love means. Emma reached for his hand, but he pulled away. That rejection hurt more than anything. Please, she begged. I'll do anything. Just don't walk away from me. Michael studied her for a long moment. For a split second, she thought she saw something soften in his eyes. Then he shook his head. No, Emma, he said quietly. You already walked away first. And with that, he turned and left. This time, she didn't chase him. Because she knew, deep down, that she had already lost him forever. Days passed, then weeks, then months. Michael moved on. It wasn't easy. There were nights when the betrayal still haunted him, when he lay awake wondering how someone he loved so deeply could have deceived him so effortlessly. But with time, the pain lessened. He threw himself into his work, into his passions, into rebuilding himself. As for Emma, she learned the hard way that some mistakes are unforgivable, that some losses can't be undone, that the man she had taken for granted was the one man she could never replace, and that sometimes the greatest punishment isn't anger. It's knowing that the person you hurt has moved on without you,